Hello everyone, I'm Oliver and welcome back to the Daintii channel. Now, Paper Mario is a game series that's very close to my heart. I grew up playing a lot of these games and I'm very active online in the Paper Mario community because I love talking to other people about the games I play and seeing what the general discussion and opinion about these games are. And with the release of Paper Mario, the Origami King on Nintendo Switch today, I figured why not look back at the series past and rank all the games. So, with that, let's get started. Now, a quick disclaimer before this video starts. Obviously, the Origami King is not going to be on this list because, while yes, it does release today as of the release of this video, I personally haven't played it yet, hasn't arrived, and if you couldn't probably already tell, this video was made before Origami King came out. I record these in advance, so yeah, fair warning, that's not going to be on this list. It is possible that I may do a review on the game after it comes out, but that might take a while because it takes a while to play a game. So, with that, let's actually get into the list. Coming in last place, we have Paper Mario Sticker Star, which released for the Nintendo 3DS. Now, you might notice that this game is not on my shelf here, and that is because when I was a kid and I played it, I gave it away. Now, that alone should tell you my opinion of this game. And if you're watching this video, you probably already know that Paper Mario Sticker Star pretty much universally panned when it came out. A lot of people didn't like it, especially people who are fans of the older games, such as the original Paper Mario the 1000-Year Door, and as a fan of these original games myself, I will say that I did not like this game either. When I played it, I was quite young, although I did play it after I had played some of these games, and I did notice, along with many other fans, that while it was a return to form after Super Paper Mario released, it brought back the RPG kind of elements to it. It just really felt like Nintendo sucked the life out of it. Compared to these other games that had original characters and interesting story, you know, there's that joke that every character in Sticker Star is a toad, and it's true. That joke has some basis in fact, because honestly, the story in this game is not interesting. It's just Bowser kidnaps Peach, you know, your basic story. And while that did work in the original game, it was the original game, and this was the fourth entry in the series, so they could have really switched it up a bit, but instead they decided not to. And they made a lot of other questionable choices, like using stickers as a disposable form of attack, and that was the only way you could attack was using stickers. It made battles pretty much worthless, because pretty much all you could do is, if you were battling, you were wasting stickers, and you didn't want to do that. You wanted to save them for the important battles that mattered for the story, that were required. So pretty much every enemy battle on the overworld is just a chore. So not only was the story bad, the gameplay was also bad, and it just leads to kind of a perfect storm, which kind of caused this game to be sorry, I keep looking over here for the game and then realizing I don't have it, but it kind of caused this game to be kind of the butt of the joke of all the Paper Mario fans when they're talking about it, and for that reason I'm putting this game in last place. Alright, and in fourth place we have Paper Mario Color Splash, which released for the Nintendo Wii U. Now, this game is kind of divisive amongst fans, a little bit, not as much so as some of the other games on the list, but there's a fair amount of people who actually really like this game, and there's also a fair amount of people who absolutely hate it, and I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. Now, this game, a lot of people say that it is Sticker Star 2.0, and they are kind of right in a certain respect. The game does continue the style of Paper Mario Sticker Star, and that's where its faults lie, but I do think there are a lot of positives with this game. First of all, I think the story was a bit better, it was a bit more interesting, and especially the humor in this game. It's a very funny game, and the writing staff should be commended for their work. You'll find a lot of funny moments in this game, a lot of interesting dialogue from the characters, and it has a little bit more life to it than Sticker Star does. That being said, the characters are still not that original compared to the other games. You still have lots of toads. While the toads are, they have a little bit more personality than before, they're still, obviously, still toads, when these other games have lots of different species, races, backgrounds, from the Mushroom Kingdom. And with regards to the gameplay, this game does fall into the same kind of category that Sticker Star does, where it is similar to the other games in the fact that it's an RPG, but also it has a lot of similarities between Sticker Star in that instead of stickers, you now use cards, which again are a form of disposable attacks, which makes it really annoying to do any battle because you're essentially just wasting cards, and since there's no experience points, the battles are just completely unnecessary, and you're trying to save your cards for the battles that do matter. I feel like I'm repeating a lot of the points that I did when I was talking about Sticker Star, and that kind of shows what this game really is. It is very similar to Sticker Star, although it was a step forward, so that's why it's above Sticker Star on this list. And right in the middle of the list, at number 3, we have Super Paper Mario. And as you can see, this is the Nintendo Selects version of the game, not the original release. And that was because when the game originally came out, I was a bit too young to really play it. So I got this when it was released later on. It was one of the first, I think actually it was the first Paper Mario game I owned digitally. So obviously that kind of makes sense because of my age. I wasn't old enough to experience these original 2 games on their original release. But enough about my backstory with the game, let's actually get into my opinion on it. Super Paper Mario is kind of a black sheep, not in that it's bad compared to all the other games. In that case, I would say definitely Sticker Stars in that category, but it does something really different with the game, with the series, than all the other games in that it took the RPG elements and threw them out the window and replaced them with platforming and individual platforming levels. And in that respect, I am not really a fan of this game. It's kind of hit or miss whether the platform sections are interesting or not. Although, what this game does have going for it is the story. The story is so interesting. I don't want to spoil anything for you in case you want to play the game. It's a Wii game, so it should be fairly cheap, especially the Nintendo Selects version. I think it might even be available on the digital Wii U eShop if you're interested. The story is very interesting, although I will say it's a slow burn. At the very beginning of the game, I was kind of bored and I just really didn't want to continue, but the payoff for continuing and sticking with the game is just great. The story is emotional, it's captivating, and there's some really funny and interesting levels in this game, especially with Francis the Chameleon. Oh, I post opinions about games I've never played on the internet. This game has a lot of humor going for it, like Color Splash, and some really interesting sections, and also I thought it was really cool that you could play as Mario, Peach, and Bowser, and obviously Mr. L. What a great villain. You know, I wish Nintendo would explain more about his identity because I have no idea like who that guy is or never appeared in any other game, so I would love to see more Mr. L expansion. I actually do really like this game. Like I said before, the platforming it was an interesting choice, and some people might really like it, other people might really not like it, but it's up to you. So go and check it out for yourself. Me personally, I was somewhere in the middle. Alright, now real quick before we get into my top 2 picks, I wanted to let you guys know, if you like this video, you can subscribe. Just click the button down below and like this video if you are enjoying it so far. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see updates about my videos and what's going on. And if you want to connect with other people who subscribe and get even more updates about my channel, make sure to join my Discord server. All the links you need will be in the description down below. And with that, let's get into the top 2 games. Alright, and my runner-up in the number 2 spot is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. This game is what you would call a perfect sequel. It took everything from the original game and expanded upon it, made it better, made it more interesting, and I love this game. It's so hard to pick between these two, but ultimately I'm putting this one at the runner-up spot. The characters are so interesting. You have all of Mario's partners, which are some crazy characters, and you have the interesting story. Each chapter is a wild ride. You have so many different wacky situations that Mario gets into, from being in a fighting ring to a murder on a train. Every chapter is great. Now, there are some negatives to this. You have the backtracking, which is pretty frequent, and it's kind of annoying. And not all the chapters are gonna be classics, like Chapter 2 I didn't really like as much. But these are just some nitpicks in what is otherwise a great package. And you have so many other side quests you can do. You can collect star pieces, you can get recipes, you can do all these different things. And not only is the story good, the gameplay is also good. Unlike the other games like Color Splash, each battle isn't a chore. You actually enjoy doing these battles, and you have some great elements such as the action command, allowing for some precise inputs to help the player. And you can incorporate a lot more strategy into these battles, a lot of experimentation that they allow for with all the different badges and attacks and partners you can use. You can play this game hundreds of times and not play it the same way. And for that, this game is my runner-up. Alright, and finally, at the #1 spot, my favorite Paper Mario game is Paper Mario for the Nintendo 64. Now, obviously, I was too young to be alive when this game came out, but it was the first Paper Mario game I ever played because I played it on the Wii Virtual Console, and the first time I played it, I never actually got to complete it, but I did eventually get to complete it. I've completed it a few times now, and not only is this my favorite Paper Mario game, Paper Mario is my favorite video game of all time, and I'll tell you why. You might be confused as to why I'm putting this above ThousandYear Door when I just said that ThousandYear Door perfectly expanded and improved upon everything that Paper Mario had to offer. These games are so similar, and the reason why I'm bumping this one up to the first place spot is because of my memories and nostalgia for the game. I know, obviously, that's kind of bad, you know, I'm nostalgia blind. But I would say a lot of people still agree that this game is good. It still holds up today when I play it. So for that reason, I'm putting it above ThousandYear Door. Many of the things I said for this game could also apply to this game. The characters are interesting and the story is interesting. Every chapter is great. There's not one chapter in this game that I found was like a bore or involved like lots of backtracking. I liked all of them. And all the bosses were pretty great. You have some wonderful characters and partners that Mario interacts with. And because this was the first game in the series, I mean, what a high note to start on. What a huge bar to set for the rest of the series. And unfortunately, not all these other games could live up to that expectation. But Paper Mario is one of the classics of all time. And like with this game, there's lots of completion aspects, and the gameplay is very similar between these two. It's always engaging. You always want to battle to level up and to experiment with new strategies. And not only that, this game has a great community. There's lots of people, you know, exposing glitches in the game, doing challenge runs and trying to find other interesting ways to beat the game. There's also some interesting mods coming out. And I know none of that has to do with whether the fact that this game is actually good or not, but in my opinion, I mean, it is good. Those other factors just enhance the experience for me, the whole community around it, and my personal experience with the game, my nostalgia for it. Even as a really young kid, I could see that this game was something special, and I absolutely adored it. So for that reason, the original Paper Mario is my favorite of the Paper Mario games. Alright, and with that, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and once again, remember to like and subscribe, follow me on Twitter, join my Discord, do all of that if you did enjoy the video and are interested in seeing my upcoming videos. Now, I know I've probably said this a lot, but this is a new direction that I'm going to try to take my channel. Like I said, I'm going to try to do one video a week. I'm doing online school right now, so that kind of gets in the way. I have a lot of work to do for that. But I'm still going to try to put in one video a week and try not to... I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say I'm not going to try to put as much effort in my videos. Obviously, I want my videos as the best as possible, but I'm going to try not to take on huge projects that I need to put a lot of time into. This video was kind of off the cuff. I mean, obviously, you can probably tell that. I didn't have a specific script for it, but nevertheless, I tried to, you know, gather my thoughts and talk about these games. So if there's any specific topics kind of related to this that you'd like me to talk about, you know, ranking some other games, ranking something else, you know, or reviewing a game, then feel free to mention that in the comments, and I'll consider it of making a new video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.